Open fires cook the food and heat the homes of 3 billion people. But where there's fire, there's smoke, and smoke kills. Indoor air pollution claims more than 4 million lives each year.
To put that in perspective, that's more deaths than HIV, AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis combined.
Engineer Jim Jetter has been working for more than a decade on making Cookstoves cleaner.
I felt like this was kind of a calling for me, really.
His lab at the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency tests new stove designs coming in from around the world. He says a lot more have arrived since 2010, when then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton helped launch the Global Alliance for Clean Cookstoves.
So when we started off to tackle this challenge, we believed, number one, it was a health challenge and an environmental challenge, but it also, if approached correctly, could be an economic opportunity.
Companies making more efficient, less polluting stoves get backing from the Global Alliance. Cooker designs come in all shapes and sizes.
This is an institutional stove that's large enough for cooking food for a school or a hospital. This stove is used in Central America and Mexico, and it's used for making tortillas.
All these stoves aim to cook more cleanly and efficiently than conventional ones do.
But how do you know that they use less fuel, that they put out fewer pollutants? Well, it takes a lot of serious science to figure that out, and that's what EPA is doing here.
Each humble cookstove gets a full battery of high-tech analyses.
These measurements are very sensitive. If someone is standing next to that hood and breathing, it picks up the carbon dioxide in their breath.
Researchers take precise measurements of pollutants like nitrogen oxides and black carbon, or soot.
99.98, that's it.
They test how long it takes to boil a pot of water and how much fuel it burns. Buyers can compare how well a stove performs based on what's important to them, says EPA researcher Seth Ebersviller.
You may have mostly people cooking outdoors, in which case the indoor emissions aren't going to be as big of a deal. But maybe the fuel efficiency is very important because fuel is scarce. Whereas other places, they may have ample fuel, but they're mostly worried about how clean the stoves are burning because they don't have adequate ventilation in the houses.
Perhaps the most important thing is that they cook what people want the way they want to cook it. Jetter and his crew don't have an official test for that, but behind the lab, they occasionally do some unofficial testing.
They're delicious.
Steve Baragona, VOA News, Research Triangle Park, North Carolina.